Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Footy Talk, and I'm your host Tari. I'm sure you have heard 2019 Ballon d'Or award has gone to Lionel Messi, the first and only man to win 6 Ballon d'Or. Should he have won it or should Van Dijk have gotten it this year? We're going to discuss it. Stay tuned.
Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent! Forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Welcome back everybody. Now before we get into today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit more about what is the Ballon d'Or. Now Ballon d'Or is an annual award put on by the French football organization. And French football is a weekly magazine which contains football news from all over the world. Now this is the award given out every year to coaches, female best player of the year and also male best player of the year. Now how do they determine who gets what award? It is a compilation of votes from captains, coaches and journalists. So if you're a Lionel Messi fan, you're going to be aware of all the great stuff Lionel Messi did last year. The high number of goals he put up, the high number of assists, high number of free kicks. You're going to know about all of that. And if you're a Lionel Messi hater, you're also going to know about it, but you're going to choose to ignore those stats. Same goes to Liverpool and Van Dijk supporters. If you're a Van Dijk supporter, you're going to know about how brilliant Van Dijk was last season. And he wasn't dribble pass through the entire 2018-2019 season. And if you're a Liverpool or a Van Dijk hater, you're going to also know about it, but choose to ignore those stats. So we're going to use a thing called reasonability to get down to the base of this. So let's get straight into it. My first reason why Van Dijk did not win the Ballon d'Or is basically the nature of sports. Now, the nature of any team sports, NFL, basketball, soccer, football, it doesn't really matter. The high goal scoring person, the one that puts the numbers up on top of the board. For example, the quarterback for NFL and the receiver, the one that touchdown and the one that give the assist. Those are the ones who usually get the MVPs. In basketball, the point guard, the one who assists, or the shooter who puts up the 33 points per game. It's really, you find somebody like on defensive aspects of the game who gets acclimated with the award of MVP. And if people are going to say, for example, like the last time I can remember a defender winning that title, Ballon d'Or title, I think it was 2006. It was a Cannavaro with who was a World Cup year. Yes, so if it's not a World Cup year, didn't put in a World Cup performance, it's very rare a defender is going to win that title. So since the Ballon d'Or award is about individual brilliance, we have to determine whether or not Lionel Messi was carrying Barcelona more than how Van Dijk was carrying Liverpool, because it's an individual award and not a team award. Now on the 30-man shortlist for the Ballon d'Or, Liverpool had 7 players, and while Barcelona had 4 players. Now out of that 4 players, 2 of those players did not represent Barcelona last season. De Jong was at Ajax and Griezmann was at Atletico Madrid. So basically Liverpool had 7 players on the shortlist and Barcelona had only 2 players. Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper, and Lionel Messi, and that was basically Barcelona throughout the entire 2018-19 season. Either Ter Stegen came up with a brilliant save, or Lionel Messi created an assist or scored the goal himself. While on Liverpool side, they had 7 players, 3 in the front three with Mane, Salah and Firmino. While at midfield position, Alexander-Arnold in the defense, Van Dijk in the defense and a goalkeeper. Now that sounds like a very all-rounded team to me. That sounds like a team effort, which is why so many members on the Liverpool starting 11 was on the 30-man shortlist. 7 out of the starting 11 was on the 30-man shortlist, which proved that they were more of a team than Barcelona was of a team. And now if that 7 players on the 30-man shortlist doesn't prove that Liverpool was more of a team effort, not saying that Van Dijk wasn't extraordinary, no, but it was more of a team effort than it was with Barcelona, where it was basically Lionel Messi. If that doesn't prove it, let's go into the 10-man shortlist where we have some points and some numbers to go by. Now, between Virgil van Dijk, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Alisson, who were all in the top 10. They accumulated 1,271 points. That is basically 48% of the points in the top 10. That's basically almost 50%. While Lionel Messi accumulated 686 points, which is merely 25% of the points. Now, if 4 of these players, Liverpool players, can accumulate 50% of the points in the top 10, it basically means that there are different players who played different roles within the team that led Liverpool to the Champions League and led them to almost clinching the English Premier League title. It wasn't just down to Van Dijk, who was basically carrying the team by himself. Sadio Mane played a role, Mohamed Salah played a role, Alisson played a role, Trent Alexander-Arnold played a role. They all played important roles in this team to help Virgil van Dijk. Even though he was the most brilliant one out of them, there were other supporting cast. While on Barcelona, it was just Lionel Messi. Nobody else really performed. Nobody else showed up. Only Ter Stegen and the goalkeeper. Now, it would have been refreshing to see Van Dijk lift that title. And basically, if he did, it would have been no problem to me whatsoever, because that man was a sensational last year. Very brilliant. And it was very close between him and Lionel Messi, so it didn't really matter who you go to, in my opinion. Now, my third reason why Van Dijk didn't get that title and they lean towards more to Lionel Messi is because they're trying to correct that mistake that they made last year when they gave Luka Modric that title of the Ballon d'Or and best player in the world. No, that man was not the best player in the world at no point in time. Not even for a month. That man wasn't a man of the month, and he wasn't a man of the week, and he wasn't a man of the season. He was not the best player at any point in time. Even if he was a man of the match for Real Madrid or Croatia, in that very same week, I'm sure there were performances from Eden Hazard, the performances from Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, there were performances from different people that would have outshone his performance. He was never the best player in the world and did not deserve that title last year. Now the world is trying to correct that and make sure they give it to somebody they're sure deserve it. And that's why they lean more towards Lionel Messi this year and not Virgil van Dijk. He's a big disappointment. He was the Ballon d'Or winner last year and he didn't make the 30-man shortlist this year. That's why the world lean towards somebody they're sure of deserve the title more than giving it to a refreshing person like Virgil van Dijk. And it's sad to see, but that's what we are the world. So that's basically my take on the whole thing. Van Dijk could have won it, but Lionel Messi took it. They both deserve it, but the only could have gone to one player. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to leave you with this video if you're still not certain that Lionel Messi deserves the Ballon d'Or. Stay tuned.
I think Messi is the best player in the world. I think he deserves it as long as he plays. So the Ballon d'Or is not something I'm definitely thinking of. But if it happens by any, I don't know, chance, then obviously I will take it. But I don't think there's any case. I think he's still the best player in the world. Doesn't matter if he's not in the Champions League final or not.